Hey Libra, if you're wondering what's going on in your January 2019 related to your health, your wealth, and your relationships, you've come to the right place. Welcome. My name is Seth. I run Comingouttarot.com. You can always find out more about me over there. But while we're here to talk about your body, your money, and your husband, boyfriend, partner, whatever. And by the way, at the end of this, hang tight because I'm going to pull an oracle card for your 2019. The reading is for January 2019, but this is a general outlook for 2019. I found these art oracles, and they're based on artists from the Art Institute of Chicago. I was out with a good friend of mine, and we found these. So I want to make sure that I pull one for you for 2019. They've just been kind of fun, positive, uplifting messages, which I know we could all use. So let's get these cards in the right order. And while we're doing that, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe so we can keep track of each other. Because I want to keep track of you, Libra. I enjoy hanging out with Libras. We get along. And hello, Libra, the person who joined. And if this content is helpful, useful, please hit that thumbs up button during the course of this video, because not only does it let me know that it's useful, yay, Libra time, but it also gets it in front of all those other Libras out there who need to take advantage of this message as well through that wonderful YouTube algorithm. And as always, do share out with your Libra friends or any other Libras that you know so that they can take advantage of the message as well. Okay. Ooh, there we go, Libra. Hello, second person who joined. All right, here we go. Health, wealth, relationships. Ooh, all right. I feel like I have to sneeze. Like it's coming. Maybe it'll go away. No, oh, no. Right? Let's keep our fingers crossed. However, I think it may be a little more challenging than we think, but a lot of stuff is coming to an end, so that's lucky. Health, 10 of swords, wealth, 10 of wands, wealth, 10 of swords, and relationships, Krishna, or the son of wands. All right, interestingly enough, bit of a shift happening, at least as everything is supporting relationships during the course of January 2019. The focus is relationship in January 2019. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But what's even more interesting to me is that I've got two fire elements, one air, which means fire is not being stoked by the air, but it's about to consume it. So if you're not paying attention to other things like your emotional state, if you're not paying attention to how you're going to do things, you're going to get stuck in like inspiration paralysis, where you're constantly deciding what to do. Not deciding, you're not even deciding, where you're constantly coming up with new things, new ideas, and you don't actually got anything done. So January can be a challenging time for you, Libra, because you get stuck in ideation rather than physically doing something. So just general advice about January 2019. Okay, first, let's talk about health. To have this 10 of wands show up here. Health is, well, we're on the cusp of moving on. Health is burdensome during the course of January 2019. It's a little bit much. This could be something like deciding you're going to have a resolution like exercising and going every day instead of maybe like 2 or 3 days a week. You know, it's doing too much. It's overburdensome. It's committing to too much. It's carrying too much of a load. If you are someone that already has health issues, autoimmune issues, it's going to feel oppressive during the month of January. It's going to be too much. If you are someone who has fibromyalgia and you're sensitive to sound is going to be too much. In fact, I think that's actually a pretty accurate one for this, especially if you have fibromyalgia and you're sensitive to sound. This card surprisingly represents that for me, and I've never thought about that before, but it really does. It is too much sound, and it is overbearing. It can be debilitating. even dropping you almost to your knees, kind of debilitating. So watch out for that. But what's the positive spin of that is that we're inching towards the end of these physical burdensome ailments slash taking on too much, especially if it's something that's within your control, like committing yourself to too much of a physical act like exercise. There could be a touch of mental health here, but I'm not feeling that. The mental health thing isn't really strong. What's interesting to me is that challenges around your finances are hopefully coming to an end, or the other side of this coin is someone really screwed you related to your money, and you're just finding out about it now. So two different ways to look at this, depending on your situation. Either financial challenges are coming to an end, or someone really stuck it to you, and you're going to bear the brunt of that during January. Sadly, it's two sides of the same sword. Sword cuts both ways, but either way, it's the end of something. It's the end of that relationship, or it's the end of the burden. And not often do I have a card that doesn't land in one way or the other. This one really strongly hits both to me. So I think it's interesting that both of those experiences could be happening, especially since we're talking about Libra. Libra just might be experiencing two things at the same time, where one takes precedence over the other, and they go back and forth. Especially since we've got these two tens in here, it wouldn't surprise me that you're balancing the burdens of health with the burdens of financial responsibility, and that those two things are related and given equal weight. Part of why it feels like everything is too much, because you're giving equal weight to finances and health, and it's nearly impossible to do all of those things without help, support, guidance. Uh, so just side personal note, if there's a way that you can get help, support, and guidance to deal with all of this stuff, then grab that help. Let's talk about your relationship, which is, if that's not enough, the relationship is actually what's most important, I think, in January 2019. Um, the relationship is the savior. Why are there two sides of each coin here for you, Libra? I'm fascinated that there's two sides, especially since Libra is the scales, and we're trying to weigh things via scale. I think that is an incredible focus on the balance, to have all these double sides coming up, and that's never happened to me with Libra before. So I think it's interesting. Um, to have Krishna show up here, the two sides of this coin are, one, get out and play, because it is pressure relieving. If there's a way that you can get out and have a little bit of fun, enjoy some art, enjoy some creativity in whatever way is acceptable or possible, especially if you're going through this fibromyalgia type thing with all the sound. Maybe you don't want to go to a concert. Maybe you'd like to go to an art gallery, where you can wander through the art and it's quiet. Maybe you want to experience some art in the library. Whatever might be simple, but I think experiencing some art would be helpful. And doing so with a date, or going on a date, would be even better. The cool thing here is that you would want to do it in a playful way. So it's fun, and it's an experience that is away from the challenges of the financial burden and the health burden. So you want to go have a little bit of fun. The other side of this coin, remember I said there's two, is what you may find is that the relationship itself is playing into the health burden and the financial issue, for either side, the person who like screwed you, or the person that's helping you through the relief or the end of financial burden. So not only would you want to go and hang out and have some fun with someone, you're probably going to find that this relationship is impacting those other two things, and it's being affected by those other two things. So the the intertwiningness of all of this is the biggest focus for January 2019. All right. So just mindfulness of that relationship is being affected by and is affecting these health and financial issues. I'm hoping that as we get into this, Oracle, we're going to have a little more insight on the positive spin on January and how you might be able to at least start working with this so the year heads in the direction that you want it to head. Because January kind of sounds like it sucks. And I think the lucky part of this is that you know ahead of time. So you can be prepared and you can start to think about how you can change that should you be able to change the this outcome that's being predicted right now. Okay, here we go. Georgia O'Keeffe. I love that Georgia O'Keeffe comes up when we're talking a lot about body parts. Okay, Georgia O'Keeffe. Kind of like she's got, two eyes or two boobs, whatever, up there. Anyway, her oracle, I just realized I was cutting you off. Her oracle says, nature can keep a secret. Keep Freud guessing. And you can't run away from yourself, but running away from others can be quite productive. Maybe you do need to go to the art museum by yourself. Maybe you don't need to take a date. Maybe you need to get away from this person for a little bit, which is where I was leading the other side of this person, because they're a part of all that other stuff. Maybe you just need to get away for a minute and allow your year to start to move in this direction. Running away from others can be quite productive. Keep Freud guessing, and nature can keep a secret. All right. I hope this is helpful for you, Libra. Sorry, I don't have like awesome sauce news that things are going to be a little challenging, but forewarned is forearmed. I do hope you have a happy new year. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe so we can keep track of each other. These are all really great Oracle cards, Catherine. I love them. And I've never been an Oracle fan. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you haven't already so that we can keep track of each other, or so we can keep track, so that this gets in front of other people and so it helps me know the content is useful. Thank you to the person who hit it already. And I would love, I know I need one, right? I would love for you to leave some comments below about what you expect to go on in your 2019. For some reason, when I talk a lot, my sinus is drained. I don't know why. I should just know this by now. I'm 43 years old. So leave me some comments. Let me know how it's going, what your expectations are, and how your new year went. I'd love to hear about it. So happy new year, and everybody have a great weekend.